We are in Virgin Islands National Park, park number 45. We actually got here yesterday, and this whole morning it was raining so much, so we actually didn't do anything. It feels like it's the morning, but it's actually 2 in the afternoon, which is kind of funny, but we're gonna go on a short hike to make the most of the day. We're staying at Cinnamon Bay, and so far it's been really, really cool. The hike we're doing right now is the Cinnamon Bay Trail, and we're looking at some ruins. These ruins are pretty cool and pretty well preserved, and the most important part is they're literally right by the road. So there is no excuse, even if you're on a beach vacation, to not stop and see just some amazing local history of the island. So all of this used to be an old sugar factory. It's now preserved through the national park. Sugar was one of the main exports, I guess, of this region, and a big reason why they made money. I know this from a book that I taught when I was an English teacher, that the rise of sugar in these areas really led to the rise of the slave trade. What do you think of Virgin Islands National Park so far?
So far so good. Hard to get here. A lot of neat things ahead of us.
There is an interpretive trail, very short, right by the ruins, so we decided to go on that to learn a little bit more about the flora in St. John.
We actually have a tree in Virginia. I think it's called hop hornbeam or something like that.
The trees are kind of stealing the show here. These gum trees, they're really beautiful. They look dead, but they're not dead, and their root system is so intricate. It's very cool. There is a massive, massive termite mound that we're going to see. Oh, that we're gonna try to go see. Another termite mound. It is very hard to describe, but the forest here is so beautiful. Just the different types of trees and the rich greenery and just the forest being alive is so, so neat. But we made it back to the ruins, and of course there were a bunch of deer around to welcome us. Okay, we spent some time planning what we're gonna do tomorrow, which is gonna actually be a very, very epic hike. For the rest of today, we're gonna go up the Cinnamon Bay Trail and do a little spur off to a viewpoint. Hypothetically in my head, that's what we're gonna do. And then go back down, maybe jump in the water, maybe go to the sea turtle talk, all of that stuff. The weather has definitely cleared up, which is so, so nice, but it is hot and humid. I didn't explain this very well, but the Cinnamon Bay Trail and the Cinnamon Bay Ruin Walk are actually two completely separate things and should not be confused. The Cinnamon Bay Trail is more a hike, but the Ruin Walk is more of a stroll. This trail is going straight up. It is hot, but it's really cool, and I think the view at the top is gonna be so cool, and it feels like we're hiking through like a jungle. I don't think I've ever really hiked in anything like this before. The views at the top of this hike were just such a banger. There was beautiful views of the ocean in all direction, and the actual ruins themselves were so cool, and just we were the only ones up there, and it was really spectacular. Wow, this is stunning. It's tricky sometimes when you're down below to have any sort of perspective of being high up, but oh my god, this is beautiful, and it's like so untouched. There's very little development, and it's nice to be above the tree line. Another thing is that the ruins here are absolutely massive. It was definitely like a 2-story estate, and there's a bunch of other buildings, but there's no sign anywhere besides the sign that says that you cannot climb on it and that it's not stable. But there's no sign, so I don't know the significance of it. We'll have to look it up when we get back. Another thing is that both trails we did today had not a single other person on them. So if you're in St. John and you want maybe some solitude, it doesn't seem like too many people are out hiking. That millipede was just on my hat, and I screamed like a little girl. After the hike, we hung out by the beach a little bit just to enjoy how beautiful Cinnamon Bay is, and then we went to the sea turtle talk and learned so much, and it made me so excited to see a sea turtle. And then we did not eat at the restaurant. We went back to our campsite and made dinner. Okay, showered, and now just gonna chill for the night. We have an early morning tomorrow and a big adventure, so we'll see you in the morning. Morning, it is day 3 in Virgin Islands National Park. We slept great last night. We actually stayed up a little late reading, which was really fun. The plan today is to do a pretty epic hike. Our goal is to hike from the north shore where we are now in Cinnamon Bay all the way up to the south shore. So we'll see how it goes. It involves going up and down a bunch. We're gonna pass by some ruins. We might see some petroglyphs. Gonna end the hike at a beach and then go all the way back. Oh, and it also includes road walking, which we're a little bit nervous about. The good news is it started off today not raining. Like yesterday at this time, it was pouring down rain and we couldn't really get out and do anything until like 2, but the weather so far is like pretty good. Very excited to see what we see. Hopefully the weather holds out for us. And yeah, this place is just unlike anything I've ever seen. It's like so pretty and stunning. It is raining quite a bit, so we might be putting our ponchos on. We'll see. The rain did actually not let up at all. Okay, in our ponchos on the road walking section, which was kind of the one that we were the most nervous about, but I think as long as you use somewhat common sense, you'll be okay. We'll just keep going. Just to clarify, we are taking the Cinnamon Bay Trail up to the middle of the island, walking along the Centerline Road for a mile, then meeting up with the Reef Ray Trail to get to the southern part of the island. We kind of put everything together. Oh babe, the rain has calmed down a little bit and we're officially on the Reef Ray Trail, so it'll hopefully be pretty cool. We're keeping the rain ponchos on. Hopefully we'll get to take them off soon. Morale is high, considering that was a little difficult. Are you having fun?
So far.
We kept hiking down and the jungle was thick with vegetation, and we eventually came upon some old ruins which were super cool to explore. There are so many ruins here. There's actually so much history on this island. It's really interesting, but these are ruins from Danish explorers. Okay, ponchos have come off, which is such a blessing. I can't even describe how nice it is to not be walking through the rain. And the trail itself has leveled out a little bit, which is nice. It means we're not hiking constantly up or constantly down. The next thing we should be coming up on is a petroglyph and maybe a waterfall, because like I said, it just rained a lot. So far, so good. We do need to stop at some point to like eat food. I haven't eaten anything so far today, but it's only like 10, so that's not that bad. But otherwise, the Froggy Tog rain poncho did really great. It always does. And I was able to hopefully keep all the important things dry. Now it is very humid, but we get to walk through what feels like a nice rainforest. We kept hiking and eventually made it over the hump and was going back down the other side and eventually made it to the petroglyphs. These petroglyphs were so cool. I thought that they were going to be difficult to see, but they were not at all. And the petroglyphs are in this pool area, and the idea and the rationale behind why it's there is because that pool area is never really affected by rainfall. It's always the same depth. And it was a very sacred spot to the Tuano Native Americans that were there even before Columbus arrived. So just so amazing, such cool history. Okay, stopped at the petroglyphs and now we are back on the Reef Ray Trail. We think it's gonna be pretty flat from here on out until the beach, but that's famous last words. The petroglyphs were pretty cool. I thought it was gonna be difficult to see them, but it was actually quite easy to see them. And a really neat thing is that pool stays kind of the same depth no matter the time of year or rainfall. So they assume that that's why they put the petroglyphs there, because the pond kind of creates a reflecting mirror image, which is really cool. This is the trail that just keeps going. I really feel like we've traveled quite a ways and we're still going, but those are kind of my favorite types of trails. Like I really feel like we've gone away. The forest was stunning, and eventually, finally, we started to see signs of the ocean, specifically hermit crabs. We found a little hermit crab. There were so many of these on dry Tortugas, so we were wondering if they were here too. Okay, I had to use the bathroom and I've lost my dad. I have found the biggest hermit crab I've ever seen in my whole life. This one is bigger than the ones in dry Tortugas. Take a look at this boy. Before you actually get to the beach at Reef Bay, there is a very well preserved old sugar plantation. This was the last one to close, so it is the most recent one that was in operation, and it's still in really, really good shape. My dad and I walked all around and explored it. Then we made our way out to the beach. Reef Bay is a beautiful, beautiful, pretty secluded beach that we just had such a fun time walking around and snorkeling and exploring. Okay, I jumped in. I didn't see a ton, but the cool thing about this beach is there is coral, like 2 feet off of the shore. So it's not the best for snorkeling, but it was fun to like look around it and see what I could see because it was just immediate bang for your buck. And I saw a couple conch shells, but this is a very remote beach that we hiked to. I thought there would be like a parking lot you could drive to it, but I don't think there is. It's just us and like another hiker further down the beach. But this is super cool. Okay, well that was pretty epic. One of the most remote beaches I've probably ever been to, and I don't know if it quite captured. Oh, I think those. Did you see that? No. I think those mongoose were mating. Okay, well I did not need to see that, but as I was saying, it was a very remote beach, super cool, honestly, and I talked about it a little bit when we were at the beach, but coral, and there's a reef, like it's called Reef Bay, which makes a ton of sense, but there's a reef basically like 2 feet from the shore, and I don't know a ton about coral, but it looked pretty cool, and I got some videos of some conch shells, and I saw one fish, and it was pretty neat. So that was the first time I've gotten in the water. It wasn't too cold or anything, but now we have probably like a 5-mile trek back through the interior of the island to get back to Cinnamon Bay, and our north to south shore journey will be complete. But I think we're good. Staying motivated. It's a very interesting trail. There's always something to look at. The scenery is really cool, and we're feeling good. It's about a little after 1, so still doing pretty good with time, and just gonna enjoy the hike back, and hopefully it won't rain on us, because every single thing that I have now is wet. The towel's wet, the rain fly's wet, my swimsuit is wet, my clothes are still wet, my feet are wet. So hopefully we stay dry on the way back. Okay, we officially finished the Reef Bay Trail. Very cool, getting super tired. We're back on the road. It's not sketchy. You just gotta be really careful. But we have about a mile on the road, and then we're gonna connect back to the Cinnamon Bay Trail. So as you can see in these videos, like there's really no sidewalk, but there is space, and that space is varying levels of wide. So sometimes it felt completely fine to be walking on the road, and then sometimes it did feel a little dangerous. Okay, made it off the road. Last official part of the trail is going back down the Cinnamon Bay Road to the campground. This is supposed to be, and I'm pretty sure it is, just straight downhill. Shouldn't be too bad. And then we'll be almost done. How are you feeling?
I'm glad gravity can take me back to the campground, but I feel okay. We're at 10.5 miles.
Okay, woo! Bam. Okay, made it back. We are just sitting here now. Honestly, so tired. But that was a really fun hike. I really feel like we went on an adventure and explored something, which is always the goal. Plan for the evening, not totally sure. I do want to go out on the beach maybe one more time. I think I want to change into comfier clothes that don't stink, and then probably make dinner here. We'll see. The way that the Cinnamon Bay campground works is there is like a little cafe, and they have a rotating menu each night, and we're definitely gonna go there like a couple of the nights, maybe 1, maybe 2. We gotta time it to where they have like food that we really want, and we don't think tonight is that night, so we'll see. We were out at the Cinnamon Bay Beach for a really long time tonight. Tried to stay to watch sunset. There's just something about this beach that really reminds me, honestly, of Asia and what I would expect Vietnam to look like. It feels so tropical and so remote and so untouched in a way that is just so wild. But I'll see you tomorrow morning. Good morning, it is day 4 of our trip to St. John. Slept super well last night. Today we are going snorkeling at Maho Bay and then maybe Trunk Bay, which are the famous snorkel spots in the region. Very excited. Once again, slept literally so well last night after that long hike yesterday. And it's like 10 now, so not the earliest start to the day, but that's okay. Excited to bring you along with us. Okay, we could not get a taxi, which is turning into a big problem here. Well, not a big problem, but something to manage. So we're walking. But the other thing is, even if we had gotten a rental car, there's like no parking at these spots. So I'm not quite sure how you would manage this, but we are trekking right now to Maho Beach. It was back to the road walking for us, which is just hilarious. But we finally made it to Maho Bay, which was genuinely so stunning, and the snorkeling was epic. It's all sandy grass, so there's not really a reef, but you can see a lot of turtles. It's known for turtles. The very first thing I saw though was a stingray, which was so cool. He was a big guy. And then I spent like 30 minutes just snorkeling and chilling with one sea turtle, and it was one of the highlights of my life. Sea turtles are one of my favorite animals, and just seeing them in the water is a majestic experience. And Maho Bay is big enough to where you have space, so it can just be you and a turtle if you want. Okay, absolutely amazing snorkeling. We had such a good time. I saw a ray, and then we also saw a whole bunch of sea turtles. We were with one sea turtle for like 20 minutes. It was super cool. And this is a spectacular beach. I don't know if you can see much besides sea turtles here because there's not really a reef, it's only seagrass, but it's super pretty. And we were testing out these dry bags on the snorkeling trip and they worked well. So now we're just chilling. I'll probably go back in one more time, but just enjoying. We hung out at Maho Bay for just a little bit longer and then got into one of the open air taxis, which was really fun, to make it all the way over to Trunk Bay, which is one of the most famous spots in Virgin Islands National Park, and it was so gorgeous, and we did just a little bit of snorkeling. Okay, back from snorkeling, the water was a little bit rougher on this go around, but we still saw some reefs and some cool fish and things like that, and my dad did really well considering that the water was a little wavy, but it kind of knocked us around and we're pretty tired. It's almost 4, so we have just a little bit left in the day and we'll see where all of this takes us. Okay, officially heading back to Cinnamon Bay for the evening on a taxi. Okay, officially back from snorkeling, sitting on our front porch in the Adirondack chairs. We are pretty tired, but feeling accomplished. That was really cool snorkeling. The sea turtles were honestly amazing. Like, it was a really good showing. There was one sea turtle that I was with for like 20 minutes, which was crazy. My face is literally like rubbed raw from the snorkel. That's how much I was in my snorkel today. So hopefully this goes away because it's definitely not cute. Yeah, we're just gonna chill, maybe go on a little walk, maybe see the beach one more time, and then we are not cooking food tonight. We are eating at the restaurant because the theme is Caribbean night and it's gonna be really good. I'm really excited. So, how was the snorkeling?
I enjoyed it. I found it thoroughly satisfying. It's the 4th time I've been. The first time I did it, I nearly died. The 2nd time, I sort of hit my rhythm. 3rd time, I had a good time. That made me want to come back. And then today, I had done it in a year and a half, but I think I fell into it. I thought it was cool. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was fish that I've kept in my aquariums before. Little deer.
I have that on video.
But yeah, I'd like to do a little bit more of it tomorrow.
This is a neat place. He was eating those leaves earlier. They're so funny when they eat those leaves.
Didn't finish.
We kept admiring the deer for just a little bit and then decided to take a walk around the campground.
This is such a cool campground, and we really haven't had a chance to fully explore it yet, so we figured before dinner would be a good time.
It's a tree that we saw in Key West. We saw it on the trail yesterday, and this is like the third one we've seen. And we've touched them and had our picture taken in front of them, and this one seems to have thorns all over the trunk that would mutilate your hand if you fell against it or just reached for it.
Yeah, this tree has spikes and thorns on it, but it's on the trunk, which I don't think I've ever seen before.
One of these trees. Oh God, that would kill you.
If you fell into it. Okay, Cinnamon Bay is so pretty. We just walked around a little bit. Tomorrow's gonna be our full day to kind of like chill and explore and maybe snorkel around here. But for right now, we're gonna go to dinner for Caribbean night.
Caribbean night was absolutely amazing. I had jerk tofu, which was so good. I devoured it.
Okay, made it back from dinner and I showered and we are in for the evening. Just gonna chill and try to get some sleep before our very last day in Virgin Islands tomorrow. So we'll catch you in the morning. Got up to watch sunrise and I think I missed a lot of the actual sunrise part of sunrise, but no sunrise. This place is really pretty. I didn't sleep the best last night because I have so many bug bites and it was kind of hot last night, but either way, so happy to be here. It's so pretty. I was thinking just last night, like, this travel the only thing I'm good at? Kind of a morbid thought, but it just, especially because I haven't been on a trip in a little bit of time, like, I don't know. It's just really special. Okay, it is officially our last day in Virgin Islands National Park. Today is our chill day. We're gonna hang out at Cinnamon Bay, hopefully do some snorkeling. Tonight there's bird talk, and then pack everything up to get ready to go home tomorrow, which is kind of crazy how quickly everything went. A couple things I still want to see snorkeling. I don't know if I'll necessarily see them where we're snorkeling today, but that's the goal. I really want to see a starfish. That would be so cool. And I want to see a pufferfish. That would also be so cool. And just like a bustling reef. So we'll see. And maybe another sea turtle if I get really lucky.
Cinnamon Bay is just the freaking best, and we had so much fun exploring and then snorkeling a little bit. The water was so blue.
Okay, just did my first snorkeling excursion of the day. The reef was not the best, but I saw, I think, the most fish that I've seen all around. I definitely saw parrotfish, definitely saw some other cute ones. I also saw some pretty healthy coral, and it is like a pretty massive reef. It is kind of all over the place, which is really cool. Didn't see a starfish though. We're gonna probably chill a little bit, and then, I mean, the really cool thing about St. John is you can snorkel just straight from the seashore. But the cool thing about Cinnamon Bay specifically is that there's a couple different snorkeling spots and one beach. So I think we're gonna hopefully go and do another one in just a little bit, but in no rush. It's a beautiful day. We got comfy chairs sitting in the shade. It is all good.
I read a little bit more, and then my dad actually had a turn snorkeling, which is really fun because I've always been the one in the water, and now he is.
Okay, we did a little bit of snorkeling, and now we're just the last ones at the beach, and we're honestly just hanging out. Probably gonna go in soon. We have like an hour and a half until dinner and the bird talk, and we've got to get some stuff straightened away for getting back to the ferry terminal tomorrow. But gosh, it's so pretty. It's been fun just hanging out here all day and doing the snorkeling adventures around here. How was it?
Enjoyed it. The trip, 2 days of hiking, 2 days of snorkeling. I wonder if we stayed another day what we would do tomorrow.
Did you like the snorkeling?
I did. I like to do it somewhere else now, here when it's better condition. I think I'm getting used to it. I'm not quite as scared. I was too scared to go out in that. But
Are you excited for the bird talk tonight?
I am. I'll probably be fancy.
So I am going to include part of the bird talk, mainly the part about the pearly-eyed thrasher, mainly because it is a beautiful story of resilience and survival, and it's honestly really cool.
Before the hurricanes, I used to call this pearly-eyed thrasher the thief, because I know they're probably in the morning when you have breakfast in the back, picking off your pancakes when you put your dirty dishes over there. They are very bold. If you went to the beach to have a picnic and you went in the water, they would literally pack into your bag of Doritos and you know, break it open and steal it. But after the hurricane, when we had these 220-mile-an-hour winds, and it was, like I said, devastating. I mean, human beings didn't survive. The first living thing I saw when I opened my door was a drug sheet. And I was like, oh my God, how did this bird survive the storms? 220-mile-an-hour winds. You know, they said they were Category 5 hurricanes, but they should have been 6s, but there is no 6. Because it was winds over 220 miles an hour. But they don't want to make a Category 6 because then people will freak out like, what are you going to do? When a Category 6 storm's coming, there's not much you can do. So anyway, the pearly-eyed thrasher has this all-purpose bill. He can eat a papaya, a Dorito, a baby lizard. So he is a survivor, and they're very smart. Sometimes one comes when I'm doing my talk. One comes in at night. Sometimes it sits up here. And people sometimes ask about birds. Well, that's the bird that's talking now.
Anyways, so I really just think these birds are super cool, and if you are not into birding yet, what are you doing? Okay, well, we are literally packing up to leave. I thought I would give you a little eco tent tour. Okay, I loved this eco tent. We sat in these chairs for so many hours, and then over here is a waterproof container that has a lock, so you can lock things in there. We locked our valuables and our food, and then you got the actual tent. It's very sturdy and it's waterproof. So there's one big room in here. This is where my dad slept. It's a little messy right now because we're packing up, but there's a cute little shelf. There's a fan, there's electricity, there's outlets, all of those good things. And then you come over here, and this is my room. It's a little dark, but there's 2 bunk beds, so you can comfortably fit 4 people here, which is great.
This served us so well for what we needed. It rained, like torrential downpour, probably like 3 of the 5 nights that we were here. So having this was really nice compared to an actual tent. But if I come back, I definitely want to camp in an actual tent site because they're only $50 a night. And they are right on the beach, which is super cool. Officially leaving, but the adventures for the day are just beginning because we're trying to get back to DC.
We packed up, hopped on one of the cool open air taxis, and made our way to the visitor center.
Okay, we explored the visitor center. Now we're just waiting for our ferry, which we can see the ferry, but it's not supposed to take off for another hour or so. So we're just chilling here. I loved this national park. It was beautiful. I would love to come back. We met some people that come back over and over again, but I'm excited to be home, I guess. Wish I could just like snap my fingers and be home. Did you have fun?
I did.